might have to put my hat on for this review because they were giving
Very
me.
nice.
Thank you. Well, better than anything in the film, I can tell you. So this was on the last day, Retaliators, in case you can't read the hat. We'll see how long I can go wearing this, but they were giving away free hats, free t-shirts on the way in. So this is for the last day, one of the most hyped films. And it sort of became a joke around the festival then that they were probably giving all this stuff away because they knew the film itself wasn't very good. Up is this pastor, his like family, or sorry, his daughter is like brutally killed, and he starts digging into what exactly happened, and he uncovers all these like this dark world, this sort of underworld, really. So it sort of features sort of like gangs and stuff, but also it goes into like demons and different like sort of entities. So it sort of crosses those things over, and that's sort of the setup. Then ultimately he's going to get revenge, and so there's a bit of a mystery thing to it. And one of the ways they were trying to sell it is because it has all these, a lot of these bands I haven't really heard of, but like sort of like metal or rock style bands, and I mean, first of all, I will say black mark against the film because Tommy Lee features on the soundtrack, so fuck them for that. It already lost a mark, featuring that scumbag. But anyway, it's that sort of music, similar type music to what he would do. And one of the actors actually has a music background as well. It was like his first film. See, I had a feeling this could be pretty low standard because sometimes when it's like people from the music industry getting involved in horror because they're horror fans, and it feels like a bit of a love-in, and sometimes it's often a lot of times it doesn't really work out. First of all, the acting was pretty terrible. It was very, very wooden. Second thing to say, I mean, the characters were very, very bland. There was some like terrible dialogue, boring movie. I mean, it was kind of this stuff where, just to give it a couple of descriptions, so the stuff with like the religious family and the stuff with them near the start of the film, that just felt like a Hallmark movie type thing, or like an episode of Neighbours or something like that. Just the style of the way they were talking.
Amazing.
And then it was really sort of jarring because then you got, I mean, when it got into the gang stuff, and the gang stuff was just so lame. It was just like anyone who'd seen like one episode of Sopranos and just taken the very basics of that, but also it felt like one long episode of like Sons of Anarchy or something. But it's just like, obviously, I mean, I've never seen that show, but I'm gonna just take a leap and say like much worse than that, But
Yeah.
but terrible actors, terrible characters, like horrible soapy style dialogue. And again, it wasn't really saved by having entertaining dialogue. That's the thing, because clearly they were going for some sort of fun prestige. That's like the whole idea. But the dialogue just wasn't entertaining enough to make up for the other stuff. Also, there's just something a bit like overly masculine about it, which sort of put me off as well. And there's some entertaining moments of gore, but by the time you get to that stuff, I was kind of checked out, really.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, this movie absolutely sucks. It's really, really bad.